Okay, back into Alma now. I'm just going to go back to that screen that showed us the Asian and European business collection. Now I'm going to go back into my edit service. So again, the ellipses, edit service. Okay, again, we've made this available, but now we're going to specify that this thing only go to Madisonville. All right. Next thing, again, just to remind you on the linking screen, this tells you what a ProQuest URL should look like, and this comes automatically from ProQuest. You don't really have to mess with this. The thing that I'm just trying to remind you is that you do not want to enable the proxy server on this screen, because again, that will specify that one proxy server be used for all the colleges, and we want to set our group settings individually. So you go to the group settings page. At this point, I'm going to tell this to only go to Madisonville. All right. To do that, you want to add settings for a group. And that brings up this box here. The group that we're going to activate this for is Madisonville. So just find it on the list. Or you can just type it in. Madisonville. At this point, I'm going to enable the proxy. This will only enable the proxy for Madisonville. You have to select Madisonville's proxy server. So again, select this from the list or type it in. I'm just going to type in MAD for Madisonville. All right, so I've got my group set. It's only going to go to Madisonville, and it's enabled to only use Madisonville's proxy server for Madisonville. Now again, ProQuest, Gale, and EBSCOhost databases, you have to put another a linking parameter in here. So I'm going to go back to the spreadsheet. In SharePoint, you go to Alma Project, and then the Alma Documents, and then the eResource Management folder, and then the linking parameters spreadsheet. This is a ProQuest database, so I'm going to find the ProQuest client ID for Madisonville, which is right here. And then I'm going to go back into Alma and paste this in. So this is Madisonville's specific client ID for ProQuest. I'm going to hit save. And you have to save it again, but before we do that, we'll just kind of point out that this database now, Asian and European Business Collection, is activated for just one college, Madisonville, and we set the proxy server for Madisonville and the client ID for Madisonville. So now when I hit save, it says that it's updated. Again, there's a little glitch here. It should be showing available for Madisonville at this point. Okay, so the last step would be to go back into our Primo and look up that same journal that we looked up before, Kiosk Marketplace News Features. Check that it's in Madisonville. And it's the first thing that comes up. Click Available Online. And here it is in the ProQuest Asian and European Business Collection. We'll test that link. This time the link is running through the proxy server. We can see it right here that the URL is set now, so it's running through the proxy server. And we will also check that title in Ashland's Primo. It's the same thing, Kiosk Marketplace News Features. And what we'll find now is that it does not show up here at the top of our search results. So that means that this portfolio now only goes through Madisonville's proxy server, because it, once again, Asian and European Business Collection, the group settings are set up so that it only goes through that particular college. Okay, so if we wanted to add if another college starts to subscribe to this product and they wanted to add their group settings to it, they can do that. To the ellipsis over here, and then edit service, and then group settings, and then just add settings for group. So say if Ashland does begin to subscribe to this collection, we would type in Ashland here or select it, make their proxy server available, and then find it from the list, and then put in their client ID, and their client ID for ProQuest is 8391. Type that in and hit save. That adds Ashland to this group. So now if I were to click save up here, that would then start sending these portfolios to Ashland's Primo. I'm going to cancel that because they don't subscribe to this collection. The last step, as kind of a courtesy, would be to go into the spreadsheet that shows all of the databases and who subscribes to them and what is activated, and update the spreadsheet as a courtesy to others who are activating collections. Alright, so back to Alma. I'm going to go to monitor jobs, and we'll see, it looks like that job that I ran earlier is finished. If I go to the history of the jobs, you'll see the electronic activation job for ProQuest Arts and Humanities was completed. So now I can search this database. I'm just going to copy the name right here, ProQuest Arts and Humanities database, paste it in here, and it should now be in our institution zone. Here it is right here. Alright, so let's look at the portfolios for this one. And let's see, Journal of Muslim Minority Affairs. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to go back into my Primo and take a look and see if that shows up. Now nothing's been activated, so it shouldn't be showing up unless it's in another collection. Well, let's see what collection it's available in. EBSCO Host Academic Search Complete and ProQuest Research Library. Alright, moving back into Alma. Let's go ahead and activate this database for Madisonville. So I'm going to go back to the list and then over here to edit services, to my group settings. I'm not going to make this available yet. I'm going to actually do the group settings first this time. And I'm going to add Madisonville. So let's find Madisonville on here. Activate the proxy server for just Madisonville, because that's the group that we're doing, Madisonville. Client ID, again, this is a ProQuest database, so I go to the spreadsheet for linking parameters. ProQuest client ID for Madisonville. Paste it in, save it. And then I'm going to save my changes. Okay, now I'm going to go back into the edit service. Now I've set the group settings, so this is just going to show up for Madisonville. Now I'm going to go to activation and click available. We'll make the whole thing available, but now that I've made my group settings just Madisonville, what I'm hoping is that it will only push this database now to Madisonville's Primo. Okay, back over to Alma. Let's take a look at a different portfolio, one that should just be available only in the ProQuest Arts and Humanities database. So I know this one here is the Chronicle of Early American Industries Association, Inc. Okay, so I'm going to copy that in just a second. I'm going to go head back into the spreadsheet and copy Madisonville's Primo and get that up again. So back into Alma, I'm going to search, or I'm going to copy the Chronicle of Early American Industries Association, Inc. and see if that's showing up. Should be the first thing that comes up, which it is, and when I click available online, you can see it's only available here in our ProQuest Arts and Humanities database. I'm going to test the link, make sure it works. Looks like it's working. Okay, now I'm going to test this in Ashland's Primo. Okay, so we got this one working in Madisonville. This is the only one it should be showing up in. So I'm going to go back to the spreadsheet, copy Ashland's Primo, and then go back to the title, copy that title, and then paste that in Ashland. Now it shouldn't be showing up because this is not this database is not turned on for Ashland. So when I do the search in Madisonville, yep, it's the first thing that comes up. When I do the search in Ashland, it doesn't show up. So that means that those portfolios should only be working for Madisonville, because that was the only group that we set this up for. Okay, so sort of as a final step, we're going to go back to the Alma project in SharePoint and to the Alma Documents e-resource management folder. And let's open up that database or that spreadsheet again, databases by college. So kind of the final step here would be to go into this spreadsheet, and then now that we've activated this collection, the Arts and Humanities, and this collection, the Asian and European. So we are going to highlight them green. That just tells everybody that those are activated. And over here on the spreadsheet, we will mark in green Madisonville, because that's the only college that subscribes to these, and we've activated them for Madisonville. If anybody else were to subscribe to this product, they could also indicate that they subscribe by putting in a X in the appropriate cell, and then if they wanted to activate it for their collection, they would go and add their group settings to the group settings, and then in the spreadsheet they would then indicate that they have activated it. So that's kind of the final step, is to make sure you report what you've done in this spreadsheet, and that way everybody knows what you've done and what's been activated and what group settings are turned on. Additionally, you can always remove yourself from a database. If we wanted to no longer subscribe to these products, we could take ourselves out of the group settings. It's just very important to remember, if you are the last college to remove yourself from a database, you have to deactivate the database, because it will still be sending that out to everybody in Primo. So it's kind of like if you're the last person to leave the room, you need to remember to turn off the lights.